My name is Sue Taylor, and I'm 47 years old. I have 7 children, and each and every one of them came to me in a very unique way. Well, I've never done pregnancy gracefully at all. I have a condition called hyperemesis gravidarum, where as soon as you find out you're pregnant or you're a few weeks along, you start to throw up a lot uncontrollably, and you end up a lot of times in the hospital and on IVs. You can't keep food down or liquid, and it's very difficult. But I think probably the most challenging one was while I was going through a divorce. I had just found out I was pregnant. Actually, I found out I was pregnant in the hospital. I was really sick. I went to the hospital. My husband had just left. Supposedly he went to a New Year's Eve party, but I knew he wasn't coming back. I was there for around 10 days when they started to talk about abortion. And they were trying to get me to abort, and they were trying to tell me all the good reasons. And it was a county hospital because I had no money at the time. So from their point of view, the logical course of action would be to terminate the pregnancy. But that was not logical to me. They kept telling me that my body's rejecting it and my mind is rejecting it, but my heart was not rejecting the baby. So I called my sister that night and I said, "You need to come get me out of here. They want to try and force me to have an abortion. And they're calling it, a life-threatening pregnancy, and they just don't want to pay for the health care anymore," which I can understand, it's taxpayer dollars. So I told her to come get me the next morning, and she did. She came. I told the nurse, "Take the IVs out, I don't want them." And she said, "You can't do that. You can't leave." And I said, "I can do whatever I want. I don't want to have an abortion, and I'm leaving." And so she took the IVs out, and I went home, and I was still sick for another probably 2 months. And it was pretty rough going, but I survived and got a little baby girl out of it. This is our little family at the time. This is Carly when she was about a year, and Billy, he was about 4 years old, and Trevor was just almost 3, not quite. It was right before I met Dad. I think I met him right around this time. We met on a rafting trip that our stake young adults were doing. And we met. We started out as really good friends, and we're still really good friends today. About a year and a half later, we were married, and we eventually ended up with 7 kids total in our family. And we're still together and still good friends. In my heart, I knew it was the right decision, and I just had to trust my heart. Sometimes you have to trust your head, and you have to have the wisdom. If you don't have the wisdom, you have to ask Heavenly Father for it to know which one to go with, your head or your heart. I think some people think it's only one way or only the other way, and that's not true. Sometimes your head is right, and sometimes your heart is right. And in this case, my head couldn't get around how I was going to manage, but my heart knew that if I put my trust in Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father, that I would.